Hi Aquarius, welcome to my channel Starchaeology Tarot. I am Desi, and this is your March tarot reading. What are the messages for Aquarius for March, Spirit? Lay them on us. What are the divine messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus? This is a collective reading, so some of this will resonate with you, that's what's meant for you, and some of it will not, and that's not meant for you. What are the divine messages for Aquarius? Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of March. What does Aquarius need help seeing right now? It's the most important message for them to hear. Align them with their highest self, highest path, highest good. Okay, Five of Wands. Okay, Page of Cups. Okay, Four of Cups. Aquarius. Some of you are in particular places of conflict right now. Conflict with others, conflict with your community, friends, family. You find yourself in a cacophony of opinions and you are shouting to be heard and people don't seem to be listening. They're just there to shout their own opinions at you. And you're all just shouting and it's not really productive conflict resolution. It's just it's almost like just like there's a part of you that wonders like if people just enjoy the drama, people just enjoy the conflict that they find themselves in. Five of Wands energy is very much like the stakes aren't as high as you think they are. It's like this is a bunch of kids playing with wooden swords, being like, listen to me, no, listen to me, you know? And it's really easy for us to get distracted or wrapped up, swept up in that conflict and give it a lot more value than it actually deserves. Some of you, it's not that value, that conflict is happening outside of yourself. You're in that community, you're in that place. Some of you, the conflict is like voices within yourself. It is the voices of that ex that you have never really gotten rid of. They still seem to take up brain space and have a voice in your inner conversations. It's the voice of that parent that is always doubting everything that you happen to think. And so this becomes like an internal discussion and an internal shouting of opinions and seeing who can shout the loudest. And that's particularly overwhelming for you because this is all happening inside of you, Aquarius, and that's that can be very overwhelming. Some of you, it's not so much conflict within or without yourself, but it's more about competition, a sense of competition. You just feel like you have to beat other people, or you know, you have this competition and you are in this space of like fighting for the job, fighting for the person, and you're very wrapped up in that outer judgment that competition entails. Competition is so rooted in outer judgment. I think it's important to remember that. Oftentimes when we find ourselves competing, it's because we are looking for outside validation in some way. So whether you're in a conflict, you're in a competition, that's your current situation, Aquarius. That's where you find yourself in March. What's funny is that feels almost like, you know, that's the card I pulled for like the situation that you're in. The obstacle, what's opposing that Page of Cups is wow, that's fascinating. The thing that is opposing that energy, the force that is, let's say, getting in the way of that inner conflict, threatening that conflict, threatening your preoccupation with competition, threatening the conflict you have with other people, like, threatening in a way that's like just opposing that. Like, what's the respite you get from that conflict or competition? It's your inner fantasy world. It's getting lost in your feelings and seeing, like, becoming observant of your own feelings, becoming a student of feeling. This could be a literal person in your life, actually. Like, the person, it could be like the obstacle you have in this competition, maybe like your literal competition, is it someone that you see as being younger, more youthful, less broken emotionally. Others of you, it could be like you feel like you are against, it's like you're head to head with your own child. It's like, oh my God, my kid is this, like, is the obstacle in my life right now, is my enemy in this conflict situation or in this competition situation. Others of you, this like youthful figure is almost like a version of your own younger self, your inner child, your emotional inner child, that's being triggered and coming out a lot by this competition, by this outward conflict or inner conflict. The greatest obstacle that you don't really know how to deal with, that you are at odds with, is your inner child. It is what your inner child is calling out for. When your inner child throws a tantrum and your inner child's like, I need this and I need this, and you're just like, I can't deal with you right now. You weren't taken care of, and I don't know how to take care of you. I've never learned how to take care of you. So that's really causing a lot of distress for some of you. Others of you, it's not a childlike presence in your life. It's not your inner child. It's not a literal child. It's not a student. It's not someone with more youthful energy than you that you're in competition with. Back to like the fantasy feelings, like getting lost in emotions. Your emotions are distracting you in a way from this conflict, from this competition. And this could be a good thing. This doesn't necessarily have to be a bad obstacle that you need to overcome. That's something that you need to decide for yourself. Is my emotional exploration actually saving me from this conflict in some way? Is this distraction important? Is this distraction an obstacle that I need to take care of that will actually resolve that conflict and competition for me by doing so? It seems like they're at odds. It seems like I'm distracted by this world of emotions that I have from, like, the competition or the conflict at hand that I need to be sorting out. But maybe you kill two birds with one stone by dealing with what's coming up in you emotionally first and prioritizing that. Others of you, totally different take I'm seeing here. Five of Wands, you have a conflict in some situation, you have some competition in some situation, and what is the obstacle in that is some new opportunity. It's some new opportunity in love, in friendship, in your emotional fulfillment and well-being. It's almost like the new opportunity that is coming up is either causing the conflict for some of you, that new opportunity that came up, that new proposal, that new emotional door opening, that new cup that's been given to you, and then we have the Four Cups in advice, is it's creating some kind of, it's adding to the conflict. It's that's confused you in some way. Some of you, I think it's like You didn't expect this, and you're trying to write it off as just the same, more of the same thing. But it's actually not more of the same thing. This is something that is very, very different and needs to be treated as such. That's the big advice here, is don't treat this new cup, this new opportunity as just more of what you already have. There is real opportunity in it for change. And it's important to find like the romance in this again, whether this is a new creative project or a new love or a new friend, whatever it is. It's like, be swept up in the romance of it. Feel enchanted by it. Allow it to enchant you. Because some of you, I think, may be jaded by the conflict that you've been going through. You're jaded by the competition, the conflict, all this like hard stuff, the struggle, the fight. And so that makes it even easier to just look at any new opportunity and write it off as like, oh, I've seen that before, and look how it ends up. It ends up in conflict. It ends up in, this thing that I don't want more of. There's like a disenchantment, a disillusionment, boredom with your life right now and your opportunities for emotional fulfillment. So I think more than anything, it's really important to challenge that and see the new feelings that you're having, not as an obstacle necessarily, but as something like a door, a portal that could transport you to a completely new reality, where you're focused again more on things that really matter and not this kind of senseless conflict, senseless back and forth. Maybe it's like job politics, like just like getting lost in the day-to-day, bureaucracy of things, and it's making you lose sight of what actually is really important. So much so that you're having a hard time recognizing new opportunities for what they really are, new beginnings, for all the potential that they really hold. Getting lost in the minutia, the day-to-day minutia, the day-to-day like bickering, is it's draining, and it's giving you, I think it's very easy to think this is how life really is. This is the reality. That's a trick. It's not the reality. That's the illusion. If you are in so deep that you are disenchanted by life and you're thinking this is just the state, this is status quo for life, this is what life is, I urge you to really, really challenge that and to allow yourself to be excited about a new beginning. Allow yourself to be excited about a new feeling, a new opportunity, whatever that Page of Cups is presenting in you. Because that will lead you back to a truer vision of what life really is and why you're actually here. You aren't here to fight. You aren't here to struggle. You aren't here to compete, to win. You aren't here to just make sure your voice is the loudest in this group of, in this cacophony of opinions. You're here to step outside of that, to follow your own inner doctrine of what sounds right to you and disregard the opinions of others about your own life. Allow yourself to fall in love with life again. That's the biggest thing I'm hearing, Aquarius. Wow, there were so many different things in here, and I would love to hear how this looks specifically for you. A lot of different interpretations of these cards. I know I kind of raced through them, but feel free to comment and share below. Open up your heart. Ask me a question, whatever it is. And definitely, please consider checking out my Patreon in the link below if you got value out of this reading and you want to support this work. You can support me by donating a few dollars a month, and it really, a little really can go a very long way. So I invite you to consider that, and also score a lot of discounts and goodies by becoming a patron, especially if you're interested in personal monthly readings. There's a lot of opportunities for that on my Patreon. Aquarius, I love you very much. I'm rooting for you as always, and hope to hear from you. Like, subscribe, comment, please. It will make my day. I'll see you next time.